Hello and welcome back to the Movie Memo Recaps. Today we are going to recap a 2017 movie titled American Assassin. Please be advised that there might be spoilers ahead. The film begins with Mitch and his girlfriend Katrina on holiday in Ibiza, Spain. They've been dating for a while, and during the trip, Mitch proposes to her with his mother's ring on a necklace. They are both really pleased and enjoying their time together, documenting the memories on camera. While having drinks to prolong their celebration, catastrophe struck when armed terrorists began shooting at individuals on the beach. Mitch attempts to reach Katrina, but she is injured and regrettably dies. We are then shown a scene 18 months later, with Mitch living a solitary existence filled with a deep desire for vengeance. He devotes himself to extensive martial arts training and becomes a proficient marksman. Mitch also gets information about the terrorist group responsible for his fiancée's death and seeks to contact them. His objective is to infiltrate the organization and demand justice for Katrina. Finally, Mitch makes contact with Adnan, the terrorist group's leader. He tries to gain Adnan's trust by professing his animosity for the United States and his desire to join their organization. However, Mitch struggles to control his rage, resulting in a dangerous event during training that gets him booted from the gym. Unbeknownst to Mitch, the CIA is watching him, owing to their interest in Adnan and his terrorist outfit. When Mitch contacts Adnan, he gets notice from the CIA, which begins to keep a careful eye on him. Despite his setback, Mitch manages to reconnect with Adnan and reassures him of his sincerity. As a result, he has been invited to Libya to meet Adnan in person. As Mitch prepares to avenge his fiancée's death, the site is abruptly attacked by a group of American Special Forces, culminating in Adnan's death. Mitch's rage at not being able to murder Adnan personally drives him to stab him repeatedly. He is apprehended and transferred to a CIA facility, where he is interrogated extensively about his excessive and irresponsible behavior. The CIA considers punishing him as a dangerous terrorist for his lack of sufficient planning and preparation prior to meeting Adnan. When confronted with the prospect of punishment, Mitch defends himself by declaring that he is well prepared and determined to go to any length to exact his retribution. He reveals that he successfully infiltrated the terrorist headquarters and met their boss. No other CIA agent had ever accomplished such a feat. During this period, Mitch meets Irene, the CIA's deputy director, who invites him to join a black ops squad called Orion. He meets Stan Hurley, the head of Orion, an ex-Navy SEAL who is in charge of training Mitch and other Orion team recruits in guerrilla warfare despite Mitch's success in entering Adnan's terrorist organization. Hurley feels that he alone cannot ensure his place in Orion. Mitch dares Hurley to coach him individually and determine whether he is worthy of being a member of the squad. Hurley gathers the crew and instructs them on the proper mentality and combat methods required for successful missions. Mitch is asked to compete against another recruit named Victor as part of his training, and he wins. Hurley emphasizes the significance of staying awake and controlling emotions throughout training, which Mitch struggles with. To develop their talents, trainees are charged with virtually destroying certain targets, and will receive an electric shock if they accidentally hit the wrong target during a training session. During rehearsals, Hurley weaves Adnan's image into the program. When Mitch sees the picture of Adnan, he becomes enraged and continues to fire, oblivious to the fact that Adnan is not his intended target. While the other recruits die from the pain of the electric shock, Mitch focuses on firing at Adnan's picture and ignores the pain of the shock. Irene and Hurley witness Mitch's quick reply in the watching room, both upset and inspired by his tenacity. In the next scenario, Irene and other top American officials visit the Iranian embassy in London to discuss the theft of 15 kilograms of weapons-grade plutonium material from a decommissioned Russian nuclear plant. The Americans suspect the involvement of Iranian radicals who oppose their government's nuclear pact with the US. Iranian Minister Behers, on the other hand, denies that his government was involved in the theft or transfer of nuclear material. A gang of people in Warsaw, Poland, are planning to sell stolen plutonium to a man dubbed Ghost. However, their suspicious-looking van gets the notice of police officials, who come to question them. Ghost responds by shooting both the police officers and the Russians there, grabbing the nuclear material, and fleeing the area. The event is captured on CCTV, and Hurley, who is watching the news, recognizes Ghost as a former Navy SEAL and former member of Orion who was believed to have died in battle years before. Hurley meets with Irene after learning that his old protege is implicated in the theft of nuclear material, and she directs him to take her team to Istanbul, Turkey. Their aim is to prevent the purchase of a triggering mechanism for a nuclear weapon, which is going to take place between Ghost and an Iranian arms dealer named Sharif. Hurley transports Mitch and Victor to Istanbul, where they meet with an operative named Annika, who will assist them in their objective. Mitch and Annika start watching Sharif and his assistant, Kamil. Mitch takes immediate action, approaches Kamil, and confronts him in order to seize his phone. Hurley and the team later devise a strategy to put a stop to the Ghost's activities. While Hurley interacts with the military man guarding the sheriff, Mitch and Victor enter a pub and eventually discover Ghost. Unfortunately, Ghost detects Victor's presence and murders him right away. Hurley declares the mission a failure when Ghost and Sharif escape. He instructs Mitch to accompany him, but Mitch disobeys and pursues Sharif alone. He confronts Sharif's aide, Kamil, and forces him to reveal Sharif's location. Mitch infiltrates Sharif's apartment, disarms his soldiers, and shoots Sharif. They also confiscated Sharif's laptop, achieving one of their goals. Despite Mitch fulfilling one of his goals, Hurley is furious at him for defying a direct instruction and behaving rashly. Mitch has no regrets, whatever the circumstances. Irene comes and urges the squad to complete the operation immediately, as Ghost now has practically everything he needs to weaponize the plutonium. A qualified physicist capable of assembling a bomb is the missing piece. Hurley and his colleagues pursue a paid trail to Rome, which takes them to the physicist. During his inquiry, Mitch discovers that Annika is an Iranian foreign agent. She said that she was working against radicals in the Iranian regime who were striving to obtain nuclear material. Ghost and Minister Behers are also seen meeting. It becomes evident that Minister Behers and the Ghost are working together to develop nuclear weapons with the purpose of using them to strike the United States. In the following scene, Hurley meets with an old friend, an Iranian officer named Ashani, who gives important information concerning Minister Behers' involvement in an attack on America. Before Ashani can reveal additional information, he is shot by Ghost, who then grabs Hurley. Ghost aims to torture Hurley in order to obtain the location of his CIA squad. He claims that he is motivated by a desire for vengeance after feeling abandoned and suffering on his previous mission as an Orion operative. Ghost also acknowledges that he now appreciates the money he made as a terrorist. Hurley is furious to find that his former student seems unconcerned about the tragic consequences and loss of life caused by his activities. Meanwhile, Mitch is surprised to find that Hurley has been seized by Ghost, adding urgency to their goal to thwart the impending attack. Irene insists that Mitch return to the United States because the mission has been cancelled. Mitch, on the other hand, defies his orders and frees Annika, who is being watched by 2 CIA agents. They discover Ghost's underground base. Inside the base, Ghost continues to torture Hurley in an attempt to learn more about his team members, tearing out his nails and causing him great suffering. Despite the torture, Hurley remains strong and refuses to disclose any information. When Minister Burroughs insists that Ghost end the interrogation, Ghost kills him and his guards. Annika enters the facility as Mitch interacts with the guards outside. Mitch eventually locates Hurley, who is gravely hurt. Despite his state, Hurley pushes Mitch to abandon him and go after Ghost to prevent him from detonating the nuclear device. Unfortunately, Annika is captured by Ghost and held as a hostage. She chooses to sacrifice herself in order to allow Mitch to confront and remove the Ghost, putting the objective ahead of her personal safety. The Ghost escapes with the nuclear weapon on a boat. Hurley thinks that Ghost's target is the U.S. Navy's 6th Fleet. As Mitch chases the boat, the 6th Fleet grows alert and prepares for an attack. Mitch wins a deadly battle and kills Ghost. He is successful in guiding the boat away from the 6th Fleet and destroying the nuclear bomb by tossing it into the sea. Meanwhile, Irene dispatches a chopper to rescue Hurley. As Mitch and Hurley flee in the chopper, the nuclear weapon detonates, triggering a large explosion that smashes a huge hole in the ocean and produces a massive wave. The tremendous impact nearly sinks the 6th Fleet, yet everyone escapes the trauma. Hurley is healing from his injuries when Irene pays him a visit to check on him and talk about the mission's repercussions. When Irene inquires about Mitch, Hurley pretends not to know where he is, despite the fact that Mitch is on vacation in Dubai. As they watch television, they learn that the Iranian party aiming to acquire nuclear weapons is expected to win the presidential election, and will likely blame the CIA for a nuclear assault. In Dubai, the Iranian presidential contenders enter a lift, inadvertently joined by Mitch, who is already waiting for them inside, bringing the movie to the end. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.